Hello, my fellow chiropractic champions. Hey, this is Coach Borio, and I wanted to spend a few moments with you this morning on at least sharing a simple story with you to help, I think, lead more people into understanding what we do as chiropractors. And not only what we do, I think the most important legacy of it is to teach people that getting adjusted is a requirement and a necessity, right? But to tell them that is difficult. To tell people what they should do often is not accepted well by a lot of people, right? Because it's an opinion that you're rendering. So one of the things that we've always taught or coached in our program is to ask questions, And I think if you tell a story that they can relate to, and then you can ask a question from that, they really start to understand it on their level, on their terms. In the end, they get to own it. Like, there's a difference between Dr. Borio said and I have. And if you can understand that difference, you'll realize that the person that says I have, they're the person that's going to stay with you. The person that looks at what you say as a recommendation, right, or an opinion, that's weak. They can go get another opinion. And believe it or not, as frustrating as it is for us, right, as doctors, they can get an opinion from Aunt Linda, and they'll hold that as much weight, often more weight than what opinion you gave, right? So it drives you crazy. But the reason being is we're constantly telling people rather than asking, and we're not letting them own it, almost neurologically and physiologically. So here's a simple story. And it's not even a story per se, it's a question. So you could say, so Linda, imagine when you're showing somebody their x-rays and they're giving you pushback, or somebody's trying to understand what chiropractic is, they're giving you a pushback. Or maybe they're just sitting there with full, interest in what it is you're trying to share with them. Ask them, so Linda, let's say, for example, you're a car. You can be any kind of car you want, right? And you're this car, and you're cruising down the road, and you hit a tree at 30 miles an hour. And again, now I'm telling a story, and I'm just asking people, what's going to happen to the car? Well, it's going to get dented, right? So what's going to happen to the innards of the car? In other words, what else? I know it's dented, but what else might be going on? And I'm going to poke around a little bit and asking her some questions, or him, right? And they're going to say, well, it's probably going to be out of alignment, and maybe something happened to the tire or whatever, right? So let's say that happens to the car. Now you put the car in reverse, or right, you as the car, get out, right? You're the car now. You get out and you start driving along the road again. Tell me what is different about the car. And they're going to tell you that, hey, the car isn't going to work as well. It's not going to function as well. Is it going to stay true down the road? No, it's not, right? It may still start. It may still get up and go. But is the car going to work as well as it should? No. Now, let's say, for example, you as the car ignore the fact that you're not working as well. And you say, the hell with it. I'm just going to keep driving along. And miles pass, time passes, maybe years pass. Tell me what's going to go wrong in the car by you not taking care of the car, or yourself in this case, right? The car. Well, what's going to happen to the bearings? What's going to happen to the tires? What's going to happen to the radiator? What's going to happen to the fuel system? What's going to happen to the electronic system, right? What's going to happen to the car? All because I hit a tree and knocked it out of proper what? Alignment, exactly. So would you agree with me that if it's in good alignment, it's going to what? Run or function better. But if it's in bad alignment, it's going to what? Is it going to work as well? No. Is it going to last as long? No. What's going to happen to the lifespan of the car? What's going to happen to the function, if you will, or the optimal use of the car throughout this period of time because it's bent and out of alignment? It's not going to be so good. Exactly. So now let's pretend you're the car, if you will. You're in the car. You're the person in the car. And you're in the car when it hits a tree. Aren't you going to get out of alignment? Yeah. So you tell me what's going to happen. In this case, maybe you don't have bearings, but what's going to happen to the vertebrae? What's going to happen to the nerve? Where does that nerve go? What's going to happen to that organ? Are you going to feel it all right away? How long does it have to go before you start to feel lousy and sick? Is it going to happen suddenly, or is it going to be a slow, steady progression? And they're going to start to get it. They're going to start to get it. Using an analogy, if you will, that's outside of chiropractic and plugging it into something that makes sense to them is going to help lead them to understanding why it's so important to be checked. You know, what car do you want to be? Do you want to be the car that looks beautiful 30, 40, 50 years from now, that's been well attended to and tended after and repaired? Because you tell me I'm wrong, Linda, if I'm wrong, but if you hit a tree with that car or somebody hits you in your car, wouldn't you take it to the shop? Wouldn't you get it fixed? Wouldn't you tell the mechanic in the body shop, hey, it didn't look like that before. I want to get that car back to the way it was? Why wouldn't you want to do that with your spine and vertebrae, seeing that doesn't that bring what? I mean, what goes through your spine? Life, health, and healing. Wouldn't you want that to go through your body and work better throughout the rest of your life? Because what's it going to do to the quality of your life? Right? What's going to happen with your relationship with your spouse? What's going to happen in the relationship with your kids? You know, in the end, Linda, here's my question to you. When you have great grandkids someday, do you want to know them? Do you want to meet them? Do you want them to visit your grave or your memorial spot? Or do you actually maybe you want to meet them and you're in a rocking chair, in a wheelchair? Or would you like to actually have a relationship with them? Do you want to walk hand in hand with your great-grandchild? I mean, that's what this is about. That's how profound what it is we do as chiropractors. You know, it's not a cure-all for everything. Some people will ask me that. You know, hey, it's not a cure-all for everything. Exercise isn't a cure-all for everything. Going to the gym is not going to cure everything, right? I mean, you could brush your teeth, or do you floss your teeth? You know what I mean? If you do one, which is really important, but you don't do the other one, you're going to lose your teeth, right? No matter how good I brush, if I'm not flossing, I'm going to lose my teeth. So I could eat really well nutritionally, but if I'm not doing other things, I'm still going to get sick and die, right? And one of the critical aspects of what we need in our body is a healthy nervous system. They gotta get it. And you have to see a lot of people to have an impact in your life. And that's your question. Maybe that's not what you want to do. Some docs don't want to do that. And that's okay. Then I'm probably not your guy, right? But if you're sitting there going, and maybe you're not, but if you're that person, that man or woman who's sitting there as a chiropractor and saying, wow, you know what? I want next year to be better than this year. I don't know what better necessarily is going to be. Maybe it's seeing more people, feeling like I'm having a bigger impact, making more money. I don't know exactly what better is, and maybe it's all of those and more. Having more time to be with my family, feeling more rewarded, having more fun in practice, feeling more passionate. You know, I would like to give all of those things to you. But the reality is, if you're thinking, man, I want next year to be better than this year, then here's the reality. Unless you're going to do something, nothing's going to be different. And if you're sitting there going, you know what? Everything's fine. Everything's perfect. I'm okay. You know, I don't need any of this stuff. Then that's okay. You know, grab a few of my videos, plug a few things in. I don't know why you would want to do that, because it sounds like everything's okay. But if you're somebody who, that was sarcasm, by the way, but if you're somebody that says, listen, I want next year to be better than this year, the reality is you got to do some things differently. And the reality is, why would you try to do that on your own? Like, why would you try to do that on your own? Why wouldn't you work with a coach? Why wouldn't you work with a mentor that not only specializes in understanding human behavior and human personality and understanding what gets people to tick, but also somebody that's got protocols and procedures that is already figured out that's going to make your life easier? Why wouldn't you do that? So, you know, just using simple stories like I shared with you today, that simple story can have a profound effect on mom or dad deciding whether or not they're going to get care, or even better yet, deciding why it's important for the kids to come in and get care. And boy, that's just one part of the 1,000 things that I can certainly share with you and teach you. Not to mention, we've got almost 100 docs in our program that are out there to make an enormous difference in themselves. They're like-minded docs, and they're docs that are all trying to grow, and they're all trying to make an impact. They're all trying to be better tomorrow than they are today. Not necessarily big shot for tomorrow, for next year. They're trying to make tomorrow better than today. And if that resonates with you, man, I tell you, I'd love to talk to you more. And I'd love to share Chiropassion Consulting with you, and certainly our group with you. So if you click the link off to the side, we've got an event coming in a couple of weeks in Austin, Texas. You can click on that. It's $199 for you and your team. We start Friday afternoon at 4:30. We go through 11 o'clock at night, and then we go all day on Saturday. Rockstar. We've got a couple of great speakers. We're going to be talking science, philosophy, care plans, motivation, personal development, communication. I mean, it's fantastic. Maybe you're someone who'd like to talk to me directly right now. There's a link right off to the side, gives you a free coaching call. When you click that, you can reserve a call with me directly, 30 minutes. I'd love to hear your story, learn where you're practicing, what's going good, what's not going so good. Where do you find that you can make some improvement in your practice? Love to hear about that. Love to talk to you about it. And then I could share a little bit more of our program and see if it's a good fit. Maybe you're ready to go. Maybe you've heard me already. Maybe you've seen me speak somewhere. Maybe you've watched a lot of my videos and man, boom, I'm ready to jump on with Chiropassion Consulting. Just click the other link, which is chiropassionconsulting.com, and it'll bring you right to the website. And we've got a couple of tier programs for you to join the program. And any of those vehicles, if you are, great ways to get involved. If you want to reach out to me directly, you can Facebook me right here at Joe Borio or Chiropassion Consulting. We've got a YouTube channel with a lot of great videos on there. You can learn more about what we do if you want to do that. We got free stuff on our website. Man, I got it out there. I'll tell you, I got one mission. In this stage of my life, I think is a better way to word it, and that is to get a group of a few hundred chiropractors together that are like-minded, that want to think of rendering care to people as that we're taking care of people for a lifetime, so that we can create an impact of a generation of chiropractors and an impact in a generation of people on this planet that are utilizing chiropractic care in a way that creates a thriving mentality in their health and physiology and mental capacity, in a way that BJ taught us, that the evolution of mankind. Boy, if we can create that out there with that level of energy, that's something that's going to have a perpetual impact on the rest of mankind. And certainly that's why I continue to push so hard for docs and introduce myself to docs within our program. So, hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Like the video, share the video. If you're thinking of somebody, love you guys for loving what I love. And I'm sure I'll be talking to you here in the next week.